Hello, goddesses. Welcome back to the Champagne Empress podcast, where you get to step into your power and embody the life you desire. I'm your host, Georgette, a life and embodiment coach, where I get to guide you into the journey of embodying your ultimate self-expression with grace, love, freedom. Today, we're going to talk about one of my favorite things ever. It is all about the truth of who you are, the unlearning. Yes. So a lot of you may ask, what is the unlearning? The unlearning is like one of those things you have to do when you decide, I want to live a life of full self-expression, a life that is so guided by my intuition, a life that I'm inspired about, that I want to live to my fullest, regardless of what others think of me. The unlearning process is where we all start. Because if you don't go back and unlearn what you have believed, how do you truly understand who you are? So the question asked during the unlearning process are the questions that are hard, because those questions are here to challenge you, to transform you, because you get to let go of the pattern that holds you back. The unlearning phase is a very, very important phase, and it's one of the most difficult stage because a lot of us goddesses have resistance towards that. We're like, who am I really? Am I truly gonna love the person I find myself to be? But goddess, you cannot go on and live life not truly knowing who you are. So let the unlearning process be one of the first thing you do when you really want to live a life full of potential. A life so rooted in who you are that you know, right? So what does the unlearning process entail? Basically, why do we do it? Is to really know who you are. I mean, I grew up in Haiti in a very conservative kind of town, where every step you took was probably heard, where every move you made was probably counted. Every word that came out of my mouth was inspected. So, was I trying to fit in, or was I truly being myself? When you live in a society where you are judged, where every actions is being talked about, we tend to shrink who we are so we could make everyone else comfortable. We tend to dim our lights because we're afraid if we shine too bright, we might be judged. And then we hold on to guilt, we hold on to shame. Well, my dear, this is what the unlearning process is about, because we're going to get out of the box. We're going to claim our rightful spot into the world. We're gonna shine our light brighter than we ever imagined. We're gonna move forward with the dreams that we have put on hold, because now we are so rooted in who we are. We know, and there's no other path but to show up as we are. So we're gonna go back when we are doing the unlearning. First thing I want you to do is ask yourself, who am I? That could be a simple question to you, but it's a loaded, hot potato kind of question. Because when we ask the question, who am I? We go deep. We go from the very beginning, when we were babies, For example, for me, I was raised Catholic. So I was installed the structure of Catholicism, going to school and wearing uniforms and doing all this kind of things. And when I went through my unlearning process, I had to ask myself, is it who I am? Or is it what I was installed upon? Is it who I am at my core? And I want you to ask yourself the same thing. Who am I? Is this who I am? Am I truly a cheese lover? Am I truly in sync with my religious beliefs? Am I truly in sync with the job I'm in? Do I love it? Or is it what I was told I needed to do, I needed to be? So today, I want you to unpack all of that and truly anchor in who you are. Anchor in your truth. Do I even like kids? Or do I want to have kids because, society says once you're married, you need to have children. But deep down, that's not your path. I want you to embrace that. And I want you to go with it. And if you're one who knows, I want to stay at home and I want to have 20 kids. But society looks upon you if you have more than 3 kids. Oh my gosh, now you're having a baseball team, You get to decide. The core of who I am is to be that person. Stay home, raise my kids, farm, feed goats, whatever it is. Anchor in your truth. So when we go into the unlearning process, it is to allow you to stand in your higher purpose and your higher being and your higher truth. So who are you? The second thing I like to do when we do the unlearning is dive deep into your core values. What are your core values? A lot of people say family has to be a core value. Integrity has to be a core value. Does it? Does it have to be your core value? Ask yourself questions. This is the moment. We ask every single question. We doubt every single thing until it is rooted. Integrity is one of my core values. So yes, it is rooted in my blood, in my spirit. So when I show up, I talk in integrity. When I say, I honor my words because I live my life in integrity. And it is part of who I am. It is rooted in who I am. So I get to live my truth and integrity. Family is another one of my core value. So yes, I am going to put that to the top of what the things I need to do. Because I love my family. It is in my vein. It is my truth. The truth of who I am. Not because someone told me core value has to be one of my main value. However, I have to say that family is not my top value. And for the longest, I struggled with the fact that, oh my gosh, family should be my number one. I struggled. What would people say if I said family was not one of my top core value? My number one is freedom. My number two is family. Yes, it goes hand in hand sometimes because I want the freedom to be, the freedom to express myself, financial freedom in everything I do, which give me more freedom to be with my family, freedom to do the things I want to do with my family. However, when I need a break from my family, I take my break. Yes, I need that freedom. I need the the break because I know in my core who I am. And I had to say to myself, it's okay. Family doesn't have to be my number one core value. I know it is for a lot of people. But it is still one of my core value. So when I make decisions, I look at how it affects my family, how it affects my freedom, how it affects my integrity, how it affects my sense of adventure. I look at my core value because they aligned with me. So then I am not easily influenced by people. I could have someone tell me what I should believe, who I should vote for, who I should not be friends with. I will hear you. I will understand you. However, I will not be influenced unless I want to be influenced. Because I have an open mind. I allow myself to process things. But then I ask myself, is this me? Is this who I am? Is this something that's mine? Do I keep it or do I let it go? And if it is not mine, I let it go. So I want you, goddess, to ask yourself, who am I? Don't be afraid of what comes up. Because sometimes I know we have the shame. And that's the thing. When we stand on our truth, we don't care of what people think of us, of what I think of you, of what somebody else might think of you. When you stand on your truth, you accept every part of who you are. And if you don't go through the unlearning process, do you really know who you are? Do you really show up fully embodied in your truth? Because goddess, in order to embody your fullest self-expression, it is to know who you are to the core. Allow yourself to be free. Let your soul be free. Because you were meant to walk in your fullest potential and your truth. So yes, ask yourself the tough questions. Do I like skydiving? Do I like waking up early? Or do I do it because I have to? Do I actually like ice cream? Do I actually like action movies? Or do I do it because, the husband? Stand in your true goddess. Stand in your truth. Because when you do things, you do it because it's truly who you are. When I eat my pistachio ice cream, I know I love it. It is who I am. I don't do things because I want to make someone else happy. I want to stand in my happiness so that my happiness could bring others happiness. Because I stand in my truth, I stand in my core, I stand in who I am. Because I get to brighten someone's day by being exactly who I am. I get to embody every inch of me, the parts I love, the parts I don't quite love, the parts I'm working on. I get to embrace it all because I understand my truth. I get to let go of the guilt, the shame, the judgment, because I get to stand in my truth. And we could all have excuses, Well, the facts are, let me tell you something about facts. Your truth is not rooted in facts. What if the facts were the facts because you allowed it to be the facts? Are they true facts? Or are you going with what other people feel like it should be? Or are you actually going with it because it is your truth? We all have things we prioritize. Do you know why you prioritize it? Do you ask yourself this kind of questions? Do you ask yourself why I love the beach? Or is it because it's a typical answer to give? Because everybody loves the beach. I mean, I love the beach, but, because it brings me peace. It is my happy place. It is one of those places where I go and I connect. I love the beach because of that. But I don't want to bask in the sun all day. So yes, if someone wants to take me out and say, let's go to the beach and bask in the sun all day, I know my truth. I'm a cabana girl. I will go as long as I'm under a cabana sipping champagne. Yes, the Champagne Empress get to be surrounded by luxury and earth and connect. Because it is my truth. And I live in my truth. So Goddess, today I want you to live with that thought. In order for you to live your fullest potential, to show up, to really understand what you're capable of, your mind, your body, your spirit, your heart, you have to allow to open it wide. Allow your mind to expand. Get out of the box. That box they put you in or you put yourself in, get out of it. Because you don't belong in any box. So my question to you is, who are you? Are you living the truth of who you are? All right, goddesses, thank you for joining me today and truly dive deep into understanding what makes you you, what makes you tick. Not because of environmental factors, not because of who you surround yourself with, what your job is. Stop conforming to what it is not you. Allow me to love you for who you are. Allow me to see the depth of who you are. Set your soul free so we could embrace you. So Goddess, what do you like? Do you truly like it? Are you truly a Democrat? Are you truly a Republican? Who are you? Yes, ask yourself the question. Who are you? Is that who I am? Or is it because I was raised on being that person? Let go of everything you've learned. Let go of it all and start unlearning. Strip yourself naked like when you came into this world. Just with a cry, a little coo, and you started exploring. Start exploring again and relearn who you are. Go through things you haven't done before and see if you like it. And embrace every part that shows up. Because you deserve to know your fullest potential. You deserve to live your fullest potential. People deserve to see your fullest light. So let's stop dimming our light, goddesses. Thank you for joining me today. It was truly a pleasure. Let the unlearning begin. Because you deserve it. And if you want to dive deeper into what it is to unlearn, we could work 101. And there's a course coming again on the unlearning and truly diving deep into the person you are. Because that's when you get to live life. That's when you get to show up with confidence, joy, grace, love, and freedom. Thank you again for joining me. I will see you next week. Bye-bye.